our focus is the preparation of patients for step down from critical care. While we're aware that the availability of beds on receiving wards can often be the limiting factor in patients leaving the unit, we were willing to acknowledge that there was still opportunity to improve aspects of the process that were within our gift to change. As such, the time boundaries for this event start when the patient's identified by the medical team as fit to transfer to step down, until the bedside nurse deems the patient is ready to go should there be a bed available. Our observation of the current state revealed that expectation of delays undermines the priority given to the tasks required. There was significant variation in the confidence of the nursing team to begin step-down tasks before the ward round, and a lack of clarity on the tasks that were actually needed. This workshop used the Leeds improvement method to eliminate waste, reduce that variation, and improve the step-down preparation for patients and the staff involved.
Hello, my name is Sophie, team lead for this RPIW. And shown here in our target progress report are our measures for improvement for our patients and staff. The baseline from our patients being identified to being confirmed as ready by the nurse was 2 hours, 2 minutes and 11 seconds, with an ambitious target of 40 minutes. We decided, regardless of a bed being ready, we wanted to be ready. To understand quality, we're measuring interruptions for the nurse during the patient preparation. Currently, this is happening 3 times per patient. Almost 88% of staff asked were not always confident to start the step-down process before ward round began. We also asked the patients if they felt informed about their transfer, which all of them did. Such a positive thing needed to continue to be measured to ensure our improvements supported this. We wanted to reduce the set-up time for the nurse preparing the task for step-down to less than 9 minutes, and using 5S, we wished to improve patient documentation. The takt time for our process, or the pace of work to meet demand, is 120 minutes.
Hello, my name is Lois. Actually, I'm one of the senior sisters on neurocritical care and also process owner for this RPIW week. This is the value stream map, which identified many opportunities for us to look at the waste that are in the current system and give the team this week a focus of work we could improve for patient and staff.
On behalf of Gemma Myers, Patient Flow Coordinator, Neurosciences, we have been asked to be able to contribute by bringing ideas from outside of the immediate area, asking questions from an outside perspective and challenging current ways of working. This was especially useful in doing the waste walks and the idea boards. From a nursing background, we feel we have been able to bring valuable understanding the challenges and culture. We have found it interesting seeing that how within the same trust and the critical care units we work differently. In line with the RPIW, good practice can easily be shared and changes can be quickly implemented.
As part of the RPIW preparation work, a KPO team surveyed neurocritical care staff to ask how confident they felt about the step-down process. 88% of staff felt very underconfident in this area, and this was an area Chelsea and I were both very keen to address. Safety huddles are an already embedded culture within critical care, and I think most of the trust really, where we look at patient harm risks and also the plan for the shift coming up. We added in an additional question, which was, do you think your patient could be wardable in the morning? If the answer was yes or possibly, a visual cue of a wardable amber sticker was placed into the plan column of the huddle board. This signalled to the bedside nurse to start the discharge planning process, to completing the ward paperwork, and also think about the frequency of observations and whether or not the lines that are very critical care specific were still needed, which Chelsea is going to talk about in greater detail in a moment. It also provided a fantastic opportunity for shared learning. This has been audited over 3 nights and the results have been very encouraging indeed. The staff can see the value of the proactive discharge planning because they're not being rushed. Their interruptions on nights are generally less than on days, so the paperwork is a better quality. It's reducing time, but also more importantly, it's allowing us to show respect for persons. It's valuing and celebrating the success of our experienced staff, and it's also empowering our less experienced staff and newer members of the team by sharing with them that learning. And it's been quite an easy thing to embed in practice.
Hello, my name is Chelsea Young, I'm a staff nurse on neurocritical care. As a team, we came up with the idea of a document which staff can use. This document, as you can see, will be known as the Discharge Suitability Criteria. It contains a criteria checklist and a flow chart, which discusses what paperwork is needed for the wardable patient, the frequency of observations patients should actually be on, lines removed that we no longer need, and most importantly, preparing the staff and the patient for this process. This document will be readily available for all members of staff to use. We've revised this checklist along the week with feedbacks given. As you can see, we had number 1, well, 2 and 3. Remeasurement happened on day 4 and day 5 by handing out the same question that was handed out prior and comparing against the initial findings. The results show that there was a reduction from 88% to 22%, which is a grand total of 66% on both days. So although this document will be available and placed in the resource folders on the unit, I'm quite aware that it's not visible, so an alternative approach has been adapted, and we're going to laminate each copy and put it in each bedside folder. Along with that as well, we'll have discharge champions, which will hopefully be a team of nurses who can champion the discharge process and hopefully embed that within our practice. Personally, the RPIW process has given me the confidence to act on change, but also to support my colleagues in the change process and hopefully increasing confidence all round.
I would like to share this on behalf of Joe Jakowski, Ward Clerk from Ward 6, and another RPI team member who sadly can't be here today. Level 2 admission packs would be handed out to the nurse on admission of a patient to the high dependency unit, and once a patient had been identified ready to step down to the ward, the nurse would take a ward discharge pack for transfer. To simplify the process, we've decided to join the 2 packs together and create one. On top of that, we have liaised with Ward 24 and 25 and established exactly what documentation they require for the transfer of our patients and created a checklist to go in the pack. This cuts down on the amount of time to find documentation before patient transfer and also allows the nurse to concentrate more on patient care, which is important to us all. The feedback from nursing staff is overwhelmingly positive as it has simplified the process. We've also reduced the amount of folders used for each patient from 3 to 2. The medical notes are now kept in the brown patient case notes. We've received good verbal feedback from the nursing staff as well as the medical staff on both units about this change. It's been amazing to be part of and to see the team from a variety of backgrounds work together as one, sharing ideas for improvement in this field from their perspective.
Hello, my name is Alex Diggles, I'm Business Manager for Adult Critical Care. The Ward 7 ward round started on average at 9:07 a.m. This meant that on 100% of occasions, the next step in the process was a 38-minute wait stay linked to planned break times. The idea we had was to review the patients that had been identified at the 10 o'clock huddle as level 1 and the patients prior to the main ward round. The plan was to try and convert these patients to level 1 green as quickly and efficiently as possible, meaning that step-down preparations could be started and hopefully completed prior to the bedside nurse starting their planned break. We measured the time when patients were reviewed by the ICU consultant on L7 and when the patient was declared ready to step down from the ward, and this included processing time contained between those steps and any wait stays. The ward round started much earlier, between 8 a.m. and 8:15 a.m. A more prompt review of patients meant that step-downs could start earlier, and the setup reduction and 10 o'clock huddle that we've already mentioned provided a better experience for staff and for patients. Our baseline measures, so the patients were ready for the ward at 10:55 a.m. After testing, patients were ready for the ward at 8:49 a.m, an improvement of over 2 hours, which I think speaks for itself. Feedback so far from the medical team has been really constructive. The consultants have been very engaged and happy to sample changes to their processes, in particular Dr. Adams and Dr. Murphy, who've been around this week. Nursing staff have also responded positively to these changes, and we hope that the work we are doing to enhance confidence regarding step-downs will build further on this. It's been a really busy week, but very rewarding to see how quickly small changes to a process can make large changes to an outcome.
I'd like to share this on behalf of Amy Feather, Senior Sister on G81, who was another valued member of the RPI team this week. The Leeds improvement method has enabled us to critically analyse current processes and challenged us to approach change and implement new ways of working. This process has given us confidence and skills to use data from our everyday work to show where change is needed and the impact of change. Having sponsorship from senior managers has motivated us towards delivering successful results. We have found this process thought-provoking, engaging, and we have loved being part of this team.
So our remeasures over the week sometimes produce unexpected results, but we continued to PDSA, the team did, and as you can see, our TPR shows a reduction in our lead time to just 33 minutes. All our patients were fully informed about their transfer. Nurses were not interrupted due to their tasks mostly being done overnight, and staff were 66%, as Chelsea said, more confident starting that step-down process. The set-up tasks for nurses are now taking 19 minutes on average, and we have a team agreement in place, great result for our KW week, for our patient documentation, bringing us to a fantastic level 2.
We've achieved more than we could have ever hoped to this week. We are very proud of most of the newspaper article items are complete. This has allowed us to concentrate on embedding our new ways of working into practice to improve the patient experience and also to continue to empower and develop our staff. We have developed an engaging, we hope, way of doing this, so sit back, enjoy, and here it is.
Hello, my name's Chris, General Manager for Adult Critical Care.
Hello, I'm Simon. I'm Head of Nursing for Adult Critical Care.
Our vision in Adult Critical Care is to deliver outstanding critical care. We believe our people have two jobs. One is to deliver outstanding care, and one is to continually improve that care. We are here today because of that belief that better never stops. So we're working using the Leeds improvement method, focused on the value stream that is critical care patient flow in collaboration with Neurosciences CSU. Through lots of observation, walking the shop floor, speaking to staff and looking at our measurements, we've identified that step-down delays are a key problem for our patients and our people. This work is focused on a collective focus to improve that, to ensure that the right patient is cared for in the right environment by the right team at the right time in the right place.
So all of this week, both CSUs have worked together collaboratively in a rapid process improvement workshop known as an RPIW. The title of the workshop has been called Step, Ready, Go. And the two main aims have been to make the patient ready as appropriate to step down from critical care to a ward bed base, and also to empower our staff to prepare our patients for the next level of their care.
Oh no, it's starting.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long? And wouldn't it be nice to live together in the kind of world where we belong? No, it's gonna make it that much better when we can say goodnight and stay together. Wouldn't it be nice if we could wake up in the morning when the day is new? Every habit spend the day together, hold each other close the whole night through. What happy times together we can spending. I wish that every kiss was never ending. But wouldn't it be nice? Maybe if we think and wish and hope and pray it might come true. Run, run, baby, then there wouldn't be a single thing we couldn't do. But we could be married, and then we'd be happy, and then we'd be happy. But wouldn't it be nice?
So so I get to follow that. Key learning. So I've challenged the team to share their thoughts. I've just summarised a little bit here. Seeking contribution from those doing the work is invaluable as we look to create, develop, test and implement change. Inviting colleagues to give us outside eyes, perspective will definitely push our thinking. This RPIW, I think, reinforces that a small team, multidisciplinary, but with enthusiasm for improvement, can deliver fantastic results in a few days. And to quote Amy, she said, using data to show improvement is essential, and it's easier than you think. Thank you, that's our report out.
Had, it's been a very busy week. You've made a lot of progress and you've had some fun as well. And the enjoyment and the energy from you as a team really shines out to us all. And obviously never to be, left out. Simon and Chris.
We lost the big booster. Yeah, we really had to work out.
And one of, it might not be everybody's favourite film, but it's got to be in the list of favourite films.
Definitely a popular soundtrack.
So, shall we have our next report out and then have questions at the end? Because I'm sure there'll be questions for you. But it sounds like you've had a, really fantastic week, and it's really impressive. And I love the fact that you were thinking about the spread as you were starting at the beginning. So now we've got our 30-day report out from the adult cardiac value stream, and we've got Lisa, pre-assessment sister, to come and update us at 30 days.
Thank you.
Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Lisa McArdle, and along with Jean Chapman, we were process owners for this RPIW for cardiac pre-assessment patients. There was a variation of how cardiac patients were pre-assessed, and our aim was for one best way. This is our 30-day report out. So the target progress report, this shows our lead time increased by 35% to 3 hours 14 minutes, but we had added value as the patient also saw the registrar and anaesthetist at their pre-assessment visit. We also decreased the wait time, the waste for the patient, from 45 minutes to around 8 to 15 minutes. The quality defects regarding cancellations we've been able to measure as only 1 of the 8 patients had had their surgery so far. The routine chest x-rays, none of the 8 patients had one on the day. And patients that were not given decolonisation, none of the 8 patients were not given it. They were all given the decolonisation at pre-assessment. Patients' blood results available at the pre-assessment for the doctor to review. The HbA1c is now being done at their initial outpatients, the results are available. And 2 of the 8 patients, 25%, had results available on the day. The verbal information, 100% of the patients received a one-to-one verbal teaching rather than a group teaching, and all patients are now being given their booklet at their initial outpatient appointments, so they have that information. The newspaper, one best way was achieved for 100% of the patients, which we were really, really pleased with. We secured 8 patients, staff and equipment using one standard document in one location. All patients were followed up by the pre-assessment team. The agreement of all the cardiac surgeons and anaesthetists to use the process and documentation is yet to be achieved. Also, the standard work on the X-ray and HbA1c shelf life is still to be agreed at this point. The teaching and booklet, Your Journey Through Heart Surgery, again is ongoing. We're 50% achieved. The actual teaching has been updated, but consultation with the physiotherapist is ongoing, with a completion date for the new booklet hopefully in July. and one standard letter will be achieved once confirmation of the new process is confirmed of when that's going to occur. The barriers and challenges and lessons learnt we have found is that our RPIW covered multi CSUs, so that was a big challenge for us with theatres, cardiac, everybody working together, and also we're all working in different areas, outpatients, the ward, pre-assessment. So there was lots of meeting new people and getting together, and it's been really good for building up relationships between the services. The barriers really are work pressures. We've all got our other jobs to do as well, so consultants' workloads of getting people together has been a barrier, but that is ongoing. And also not having the role in pre-assessment in the medical team's job plans as yet has been a barrier, and people have done a lot of the work on goodwill, and obviously that is something we will be looking at for the future. If we can get that into their job plans, then we're guaranteed to have those people there at the right times, at the right place. Communication, like I said, between the multiple CSUs and the different people has been a challenge, but I think we have worked well together. We've managed to arrange regular meetings and supported each other, because it has been a big challenge with some of these people we've never met before, and we've, like I said, we've built relationships with each other now, which has been good. And support along the way. These things are difficult when you're working with computer systems, etc. So it's all new to us, and a lot of people don't have those skills, so support as well is very much needed. So quotes from patients, they've said to us it's been a smooth process, there's been no waiting, and they've had a good service. And staff feel that it's a controlled environment, it's a quality pre-assessment, and it's all done in one area, which has been beneficial. So the next steps for the next 30 days, we plan to see double the amount of patients for 2 consultants this time, and plan to do some costings for improvement for the environment for the patients, looking at equipment and what we can do to make that area a lot more comfortable for them rather with us. And also to follow up if we can get some definite dates and times, so that we can look at getting the anaesthetists and the registrars' job plans altered, so that we can guarantee that we're going to have those people there at the right time, the right days. So just a quick thank you to Gillian Cokes, the Secretary, for getting the patients, especially in the RPIW week. She was amazing, and she's done this on top of her own work to get patients to us at short notice, and that's been really helpful. Also thank you to L16 staff, the cardiac outpatient staff, the pre-assessment team, and the cardiac specialist nurses, the registrars and the consultants who come to clinic, and the anaesthetic cover, like I say, we've sometimes done this in their own time. And also a thank you to blood sciences, who have tried to prioritise our patients' samples being sent to them when they have a lot of workload, especially over the past few weeks. It's been very difficult. So a thank you to all those concerned. Thank you.
So thanks very much, Lisa. It is a bit intimidating doing it on your own.
Yeah, unfortunately Jean couldn't make it today.
But that was a great report out, and really good to hear what you've been doing over the last 30 days, because it flies by, doesn't it?
Yes.
I was here when you did the first report out. So I'm sure there'll be some questions for you as well, but I'll ask you to take a seat. Thank you very much, and well done.
Thank you.
and we'll do the final formal part of the proceedings, and then we can open up to questions for everybody. So the final one is Gina. Now, I could come to you, Gina.
What's a photo?
But on the other hand, they want a photo. So Gina is McGauley, who is here today, General Manager for Cardiorespiratory CSU, to receive her Lead for Leaders certificate. And that's a really well done to you, Gina. It's a long period of time, but we've been and seen your production board and your People Link board. So very well done, congratulations, and I hope that you feel that the method is making a difference in your work and for your team.
Thank you. Yeah, just to respond to that really, it is a certificate, an individual certificate, but it is it's a group and it is the CSU who have come together for the People Link and the production boards, and it has really changed how we work within our CSU with lots of benefits. So yes, it's been really good, and thank you to the KPO team for their support as well.
And
thank you.
Gina is only the second person outside of the KPO team who's now got both advanced lean training and lean for leaders. So.
But really well done, that's fantastic. So, and you must be feeling really proud as well because you got a report out today as well.
I know, yeah.
Double celebration. Okay, all right. Is there any evidence that perhaps, because Laura, you've done an RPIW before, Alex, have you been in an RPIW? I know, but you've been supporting it. Does that make a difference, Laura, having done one before?
I think it makes a huge difference. I think there's been 3 RPIWs within neurocritical care now, and I think we've been very lucky that we've had strong leadership throughout them all, and I think every RPIW Neuro has done has built on the success of the previous 2, and I think I was anxious. I didn't want to take over or change things that Steve and Emma and Karen had achieved with the last one. So I think it was just building on things that were embedded, but just making them just that little bit more specific to the needs. And I think that's why it's worked. And I think we're lucky that 6 and 7 are so receptive to trying out new ideas. And I think that's it's helped us greatly this week, definitely. And I don't think we could have achieved as much as we could have without the previous RPIWs and also the staff's engagement. So it's been fantastic.
I think that's the thing that's made it easier is it's RPIW 6. The team have gone through a number already and have seen the benefits that can be sought from them, can be found with them, and really they were very, very keen and eager to get involved. We didn't have to push them, we didn't have to try. They were there in the mornings, they were happy for us to be there taking observations and measurements. It's easy when it's like that.
Yeah. Okay, Sheila.
So it's just a comment really, thank you to both teams. It's been fascinating listening to it and amazing work that you've done. But I think Alex, your quote, and apologies if I misquote you, but I think you said at the end, small changes make such a massive difference, and that's certainly our experience obviously at Chapel Allerton, but I kind of thought that was the quote really of the week, because that's definitely what we found, and quite evidently the search for the new James Bond is over.
I'll stop there.
It's only out for 2 weeks.
Thanks very much, though.
So just a comment. So I was the sponsor for this week. So amazing, really, really proud. And I was going to say exactly the same point as you. It was a much smaller team this time, but again, the outputs have been phenomenal. I think the thing that we've learned this week is the ideas around stepping down, but we've also learned that this is also about patients that need to step into critical care, and actually just making the patients ready to be able to swap almost. So then Sarah Miller echoes that from Neurosciences, that patients that do need to come to us quite rapidly. But you should be very, very proud. You've worked collectively amazing, and I think it's been really good dipping in and out. The energy in the room has been amazing. But it's been a really good mix of, we've got people from J81 this time, from the other side of the city we've got admin. So it's really positive, and you should be very, very proud. So well done.
Any other questions or comments for critical care?
Sorry, I wanted to come on to comment.
I mean, we can come back to you, but Jenny, was your question for Lisa and the cardiac?
It was, yes. I thought that was amazing, and was interested about how difficult is it going to be to change the consultant job plans.
I suppose over to Gina really, because you are involved in the job plans.
We've got Antonella here as well.
The most difficult is, I'm one of the cardiac surgeons, is coming from the anesthetic team actually, because they were not involved in the pre-assessment, which I think is probably one of the best of the pathway, best use of the pathway. So I think that's going to be the most difficult element for the pre-assessment to be accepted widely. Is that right? I wasn't involved physically, but that's what I'm trying to figure it out through various meetings.
I think what just in response to that as well around how, because across CSU, changing job plans within, where you are managing those staff is easy to do, but how well other CSUs have just responded to our requests that, can you help us pilot this and test this? So from theatres and the anaesthetists and pathology as well, we've not had to put, it's an open door. It's like, we want to help and try and make this work. So, there will be, conversations about how we do change job plans, but it feels like we're all working together for the same aim, and I'm sure we can manage that.
I thought it was brilliant.
Helen, you had
It was really a context around that work, which was about really taking stages of a process, which was to design the right process for patients to make sure that they're safe for surgery. And then when we've tested that rigorously, we would know what the resource consequence to that was, and then be able to plan the delivery of it effectively. And so this RPIW was about developing the one best way, so that we would know what the resource consequence was. So it was more of a context comment, really.
Right. And so I think my question as you were speaking, Lisa, and you might not know the answer to this, was over the 30 days you've tested again on 8 patients.
Yeah.
But if you've been doing all the patients that have been assessed as needing surgery, how many would it have been?
For June, we're going to be seeing 10 patients a week. So we're going to be doing 2 sessions in that. So, and we think that's about capacity, what we need to do. We need to see 10 patients per week in the pre-assessment. So we're thinking 2 half sessions. So we're trying to get staff, we've got nursing staff, haven't we? It's just, again, it's the medical side. And hopefully we're going to have that covered. And it's just the anaesthetic cover, which they are discussing. So hopefully, but until we've got that decided on exactly the sessions we need, then that's the stage when we can move on to the job plans, so when we need them. So.
And do you as pre-assessment nurses feel that it's a better process? Is there more job satisfaction for you?
It's different, I would say.
Yeah.
I think it's very time involved from the nurse's point of view, where at the moment we can see multiple patients, whereas from the cardiac point of view you're just concentrating your efforts solely on them. But we do have lots of other CSUs whose patients really, are we saying, should be changed into the same process so they get exactly the same. So it feels as if it could be ballooning out of control if we
so that's something we're going to
out.
need to watch, unless we can show that perhaps the evidence is that there's only one of those 8 patients who's had their surgery, and it was Caliano, wasn't it, that was, so is it his patients that have been, right, so it's hard to know whether or not the patient outcome and patient, we said the patient experience for the pre-assessment part was better, but we don't know yet whether that's going to give us perhaps a quicker step down time, shorter length of stay, those kind of things. Would you have a feel, Antonella, for that?
Probably, rather than affecting the length of stay, it will affect the cancellation rate due to optimization, timing, etc. Because for us, in cardiac surgery, it's fundamental that to optimize the patient to the best standard possible in order to transfuse less, to optimize medical treatment before and after. So that's for sure. It will, I'm sure it will favor the same-day admission. Yeah, definitely, and will reduce the cancellation rate on days on abnormalities of blood tests or stuff like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because it's a bit different from specialty to specialty. I think the reassessment, and unfortunately, is something that has to be standardized within the unit or within the specialty, but cannot probably standardize across the trust.
Yeah, I think that came across, didn't it, when RPIW reported out. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Just a
Chris?
comment really
Yeah.
about sort of all of the work that's going on and the feeling that I remember a time when trying something new was, oh, we can't possibly try that because that will be it forever. But actually what we're seeing in all of the work is this concept of iteration for the benefit of patients, and also how we learn from each other and manage relationships so that we can make it succeed. And I think that's a big shift from this organisation, and one that lots of improvement areas could probably learn from.
Yeah, fantastic. That sounds like a wonderful comment to end on, and to thank everybody for reporting out. Thanks very much for the RPIW week. I know you'll probably be exhausted now, but it's great, and we'll hear from you again in 30 days, and we'll hear from Lisa again in 60 days. So for those of you who are not working this weekend, have a wonderful bank holiday weekend. For those that are working, I hope that it's not too busy and that the patients behave themselves and the staff. All right. But I think we'll just have a final round of applause for everybody.